Good morning, and this is Amy with Stampin' with a Heart in the Crafty Cottage today. Welcome back. I'm going to show you this morning how to complete I showed you Thursday how to do the quick little baby wipe technique to give yourself a smoky pattern. I'm also going to do this one later, and I will put it in a blog post so that you can see it. I'm going to add some mountains and see what happens. So we'll see. Kind of excited about that. It'll have to be a little bit bigger, but we'll see. And again, thank you to Debbie for giving me this wonderful technique. It has really inspired me to come up with some creative things. So right now I'm going to go ahead and get to it because we're running on the stink bug time. I don't know if you all have stink bug issues where you live, but stink bugs, I've done research on them. They tend to like farm and decaying debris, animal feces, that kind of thing. Well, to the, let's see, I'm thinking about how we are. To the east of us on the street next door to my daughter is a cow farm, or not a cow farm, just a dairy pasture, cows, whatever. And then across the street from us north is a farm where they've cut down, I think they had corn there, but they've already cut that down. So what's left is decaying, and there's a little pond right across the street. So yeah, they have an amazing amount of food around here for them to eat. So they're everywhere, and they really love the shingles on our tiny house. And so as soon as it warms up in the fall, they come out and they're looking for places to hide, to hibernate. And well, they tend to like my she shed, so, or my crafty cottage, whatever you want to call it. So I have little baskets, and you can see one right here. I have little baskets of clove, and I have peppermint essential oils flowing through the entire crafty area. So it's kind of keeping them at bay. So we're going to get to it so I can get these videos out for you and have them done. Because, as soon as it warms up this afternoon, I will be out of here till evening. Anyway, let's flip you over and get started on this beautiful card. All right, so when you saw me on Thursday, I showed you how to complete this. So we're going to go ahead and just assemble this card. What I have here is a regular 5.5 by 4 piece of Mossy Meadow, and I have a piece of the Designer Series paper from Beauty of the Earth. It is at 4 and 5.25. I'm just literally going to glue this on top of that. And I really am having a hard time using this paper. This happened to be one that had the leaves on it, and so it was just mostly white, so I was okay with using this one. But there have been a few of them that I've been like, I don't want to use that, because I really love that back sheet on the back. That's my problem, is I find sheets that I really love, and I don't want to use it all. I want to save it. And, well, that's why I have cut all of mine at 4 by 6. So I use all of my cardstock that I've purchased. Now, for the rest of this, we're going to, this is 2.5 by 4, let's see, 2.5 by 4.25. And then we're going to take this piece that I have created, which is 2.25 by 4. And we're just going to glue this down as well. And we are going to go ahead and recreate another one. I've got some other DSP here that we're going to try and see how it works. And then I will create another one, as I told you, with some mountains, but I want to do that one with blues. I think it would look so much better in the blues. I don't know, the greens might look good too, who knows. But we're going to do it with this piece of Designer Series paper. So I guess we'll have to do it in green. Maybe I'll do one of each. I don't know. So then we're going to have this put down, and you see it kind of warps a little. But you notice in the video it wasn't so light right here. But as the 3D, it shades all of that. Now that we've got this like this, I'm going to take my Wink of Stella. I've got to make sure I have a full one, because I have like 2 that are almost empty. Okay, this one sounds good. And I have another one. Okay, so we're just going to take some Wink of Stella, and we're literally going to cover our trees with the Wink of Stella. Just on the trees, and it will give a beautiful shimmer to it. Which it looks amazing like this on the blue. I mean, I love the blue, but I didn't want to copy everything that Debbie did. I mean, what she did was gorgeous. Don't get me wrong, I did make one of them, you know. I will show those to you in a second. There we go. And we've just covered this with some Wink of Stella. Now can you see the shimmer on those trees? I don't know if you'll be able to see it very much. Video does not do some of these cards justice. Oh, there you can see some of it. There you go. And it's just some pretty. And while we're talking, I'm going to go ahead and show you the 3 that I did in case you didn't see them from last week. There's this one in the blues, and with the baby wipe technique on the blue, the more you rub it, it turns to a almost a purple color, which I think is fabulous. That's why I think this is going to look really good with some mountains. And then these are the other 2 we did. So, and the one we're doing right now is similar to this one, and I'll show you how to finish assembling it. And then we'll work on maybe a blue one, maybe a green one. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, we've got all that made. Now we're going to put our ribbon on here, and then we'll do our sentiment. Let's see. I have the copper, this is our fine art, which is still available. I kind of like the way the gold looks. We also have a gold shimmer ribbon. If I can get it to come out of my container. We also have this. So I think I'm going to do the gold shimmer ribbon on this one because I've got 2 with this. So let's see how it looks with some gold shimmer ribbon. I love how we have, I don't know if you can get this, so I hate to do this, but you know, at least you know what it looks like with the silver, the fine art ribbon, because, you know, with the way shipping and stuff is in the world right now, you just never know what you're going to be able to get your hands on. And that makes me sad. So I'm going to put my ribbon on. I'm using glue on the back side, or actually some tape runner. I just used my old tape runner, and I've had this tape runner for forever, and I'm still trying to use up the big case of ribbon I bought with some gal pals down in Louisiana, and I've been here 2 years, and I had it for a year before I left there. So, you know, kudos to Lori, because, you know, Lori and Giselle, we split it, and it is an amazing amount of adhesive. So I'm going to have that just like this, and then I'm going to take and make a bow with my ribbon here. And there we go. Now you could actually use your bow maker if you like. It would probably be easier. But I've gotten pretty good at making bows here. There we go. That's good. And I'm just going to trim off the ends, making sure that we've got this nice pretty little end on it. And you could take this and tie this on just like this if you'd like, but I generally use some glue dots. You could take and wrap it and tie it, which would keep it on there. And now I'm going to take and pop dot this up. Well, pop dot, dimensionals, whatever you have, you know, just to raise it up a bit. I don't want my tiny ones. I'm going to use some of this because I have extra of this left over. And I need to get these little sheets out of the way so I don't keep getting lost trying to find them. So we'll put these down, which will help. And I mean, I'm putting way too many down. You don't need that many, but you know, it's the end, so it's okay. So there we go. We got that down. And the dimensionals on here will help keep the ribbon in place. Let's take all this off. And we're going to place this right over the ribbon. Right here in the center. You can make it go to the side. Before I place it down, I'm going to make sure I have room for my ribbon. Just like this. And I use Zot Dots to put my ribbons down. I know that's not a Stampin' Up! Thing, but I do love the Zot Dots as soon as I find them. They're in here. I know they are. I had them out yesterday and put them back. It's the beauty of having a drawer full of goodies. I really need the divider thing so I can find all my stuff. Ha! Here they are, right with the dimensionals. Okay, these are Zot Dots, if you can see the inside. It says Zips Thermoweb Zots. I love them. They're great, and they're so big that helps me make them into a dimensional. I don't know if you can see the shimmer on that, but that is a big dot dot. Try to pull it up so you can see how big it is. See how big that is? So what I do with this is I roll it and put it on the back of my bow. And it is really, really sticky. So I'll roll it so it kind of looks a little raised, and then I'll just put my bow right down. And there you go. That's the basis. I've got that adhesive on the back. So there's that. Now we need to do our sentiment. And I'm just going to use a scrap of white here. And I have my same sentiment that says, "'Tis the season to be jolly." And I'm literally going to use a little Versamark. And I'm going to use my Mossy Meadow ink right here, so it keeps everything the same color. You could use black, I mean, it's up to you. And we're going to get some clear embossing powder here. That's my white. Here's my clear. There we go. Okay. Now I need to make sure I have a piece of paper as I stamp this so that it make sure I don't have it all over everything. So you're going to see this go sliding over everything. There we go. So what you're going to do first, which I'm sure most of you have done this, I'm just using my embossing buddy. I'm going right over my piece of scrap, and I'm going to take my sentiments. I'm going to stamp it in, dip it in my Versamark first. Make sure it's nice and juicy and you see that shine to it. And then I'm going to put it right in my Mossy Meadow. And there, you see we've got a lot of color. And I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to stamp it. I'm going to go right in the middle because I'm going to cut this out with a stitched rectangle die. And I'm just going to give it a minute to soak up a little bit of this juice. Take it off, and you see it's very crooked, and that's okay because that's why I did it in the middle. And I'm going to cover this so I don't have powder in my... And we're just going to put a little of this over the To Be Jolly. Make sure we've got it all nice and covered. And yeah, it's clear. You don't really notice it yet. You'll notice how shiny and raised it will be in a moment. There we go. Now put my lid back on so we don't have this spilling everywhere. And get my heat tool. And we're going to heat this up real quick. Got to get my heat gun nice and hot. And no, it's not a Stampin' Up! Heat tool. It is Paper Studios, whatever they had on sale at Michael's before I became a demonstrator. And when it's really set, it'll become nice and shiny. There it goes. There we go. Nice and up. The S isn't quite done on Seasons. There it goes. Alright, and there we have a nice and shiny embossed sentiment. So you can see the shiny on it. Now I'm going to take my stitched rectangles, and I have just cut it out with the smallest, this little one. And I'm just going to place it on here, and we're going to just go cut it out. So that way it'll be nice and centered, and it'll be beautiful. I could use my mini cut, but I don't know where my dies are at the moment to do that, so I won't. And yep, got all three there. I really miss the fact that we don't have a magnetic plate to hold our dies, so I'm having to use lots of tape and washi tape to keep everything where I need it to be. And that gets old because I get adhesive all over my plates. And I don't like that. It's another one of those things. Alright, and now we've got this all done. Get this out of here. Pop it out. There we go. Nice and centered. Actually, it looks centered, but it doesn't look centered all at the same time. And we're just going to pop this somewhere on your card, and that's entirely where is up to you. That's the beauty of crafting. You can do and whatever makes you happy. All right, let's see. I'm going to use a bit of a dimensional as well on part of this, because we're going to need a little bit of dimensional at the bottom of this. So when we put it down, I'm just going to put it right in the center, because I like the center. I mean, I could put it off to the side so that the ribbon would kind of be by it. But I think I'm just going to go with the center because, you know, it's pretty. The other ones I did off to the side, so we'll just go this way. And you could put a little adhesive here, just a touch of glue to make sure it doesn't shift on you. And I'll just put just a tiniest bit of glue down here so that I'm sure it doesn't move. Hold that down. And you might even need 2 dimensionals with that because it is raised. And you've got several layers of cardstock there. And then this is just going to pop onto a regular card base. This one is 8.5, scored at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then we're just going to put this right like that. And you're done. Now you could do your sentiment in gold as well, which would really be nice. You could do your snowflakes in gold as well. It would be very nice. I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. That way I'll at least have a completed card, because I am doing Christmas cards this year, but I am doing them random. So I don't know what anybody's going to get. And I know they're going to all tell me, I love my card. It's so beautiful. And I'm going to be like, okay, I don't know which one you got, but thank you. I happen to find that all the time because, you know, I do all my videos. I send out one card to someone who has left a comment, shared, or such on my videos and followed and subscribed. I send a card. So whoever comments on these videos will get one of these cards. So there you go. That's how you make this one. Now let's go ahead and make this green one. Oh, this one's already been embossed, so we're not going to make that one. I'm going to try to do one in some mossy meadow, or not mossy meadow. Let me flip you back over. I'm going to do one in the blues, similar to this one. And I'm going to try putting the mountain in it, and I will do a blog piece on this one instead of a video, just so you can see. Now you have the basic idea of how to get those trees to look kind of smoky and beautiful in the background. And I just think it came out gorgeous. And I'll even put these back here so I can move my ugly mug so you guys can see them. There we go. This way you can see all the cards. You can do them landscaped, and we also have them in portrait. So my next one I will do will be portrait, just like this. It'll be like this one. So I hope you all have a great afternoon, and I am going to go play at Dogtoberfest. That will be my afternoon today. We're going to go play. Hopefully it doesn't rain too much. Y'all have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week. Bye, y'all.